All right, good morning, class. As your instructor, we're going to go over the shop drawing on how we're going to build this toolbox. You can get as creative as you want with the ends of your toolbox. This student chose to cut out the state of Ohio. A couple of critical things, and this is your shop drawing right here. I want you to note that there's a couple of critical measurements. The toolbox has to be 14 inches tall. That's part of your grade. This section here, right here, has to be 6.5 inches tall. This person obviously missed it. That's why their grade got affected. If you look on your shop drawing, you'll see a couple of things. These little dots along your shop drawing, that's your nail placement. Your nail placement has to be within 90% of accuracy, or that'll be a ding on your grade. You notice you have a hole for your dowel rod right here. That has to be 12.5 inches from the bottom to the center of the hole. That again has to be 100% accurate to affect, or it will affect your grade. The toolbox, 31 inches long. Why do we do 31? Well, plywood is 8 foot long. If we did 32, we could only get 2 blanks out of it because the third piece would only be 31 3/4 because of the width of the blade. So we've decided on 31 inches long so we can get 3 blanks out of 1 sheet of plywood. The dowel, take notice of the dowel. This hole does not go all the way through. If you look at your shop drawing, it says a 1/4 inch deep hole on each side of your toolbox, okay? That's going to be critical. If you look behind me, there's where the plywood is stored. You're going to use the table saw. As we went over in safety, 100% safe, taking your time, being careful, and we're going to get it done, okay? So this is where we'll set our saw to 6.5 inches, clamp it down, set our blade height, and then pull the guard down, and we're ready to go. One thing we're always going to do as we're pushing the wood through the blade, we're going to use a push stick. Keep your fingers away from the blade. Even though this is a saw and it's supposed to stop automatically, blade retract back into the saw, brake clamps it. I don't know of person who has decided to test it out in theory. The only thing I've ever seen is when they cut the hot dog with it. And it does work with a hot dog, but I'm not going to put my finger in there and try to find out if it works with a human finger. So this is what we're going to do to size our plywood. Walking over here is our chop saw or miter saw. That is how we're going to cut our blanks to length. Remember, this end has to be 14 inches tall. How are we going to get 14 inches tall? We're going to take our 1x8, we're going to take it over to the saw, measure carefully because has to be 100% accurate to affect your grade. Cut your blanks, then we'll go back upstairs and you can do your designs on the end of your toolbox. Like I say, this student chose to do the state of Ohio. You can do whatever you want. I've had students do the Harley Davidson. So that's how we're going to go about it. One thing you want to notice, we went over what nominal and actual measurements were, right? So a nominal 1x8 you would think would be 8 inches wide. It's not. It's not 1 inch thick. It's actually 3/4 of an inch thick by 7.25 inches wide, okay? So if you look on your shop drawing, it says that your bottom of your toolbox has to be 7 inches wide. So how are we going to achieve that? We're going to set our saws up to 7 inches. We're going to run it through, taking off that 1/4 inch. We're going to achieve 7 inches. We're also going to do the same thing with our ends, both ends. That is a critical measurement. You will be graded on that measurement. The length of your toolbox, everything else. Any measurement you have to be 100% on in order to get an A on the on the A on the grade. Your nail placement has to be very, very close. If you look behind me on the shelf, you will see there's two different kinds of nails. We have 6D, which stands for 6 penny nails. We have 4D nails. Your shop drawing will tell you where each side of nail is used, and you need to set all nails. Now, in the end, you can get as creative with this as you want. You can router in any words you want to do, your name, whatever you want to do. You can use the router with a scribing bit and route it in. You can also use a torch, give it that smoky look, however you want to do it. If you decide that you want to burn or etch the grain with the torch, it has to be done outside. We're not going to set off any fire alarms in here. So with that, let's get to it and let's get it built.